Good afternoon, everyone, or good evening, or good morning, whatever it is in your part of the world. See, we got a few people in here waiting. Actually, 10 people. Hello, Demoose. Hello, Sue. Hello, Brett. Hello, Judy. I love summer, Brett. But looks like it's coming to a close. Yep, I agree about that W word there, Brett. Judy's got a good idea. Stop talking about it. Hello, Tony. Hello, Carol. Hello, Reverend Joe. Hello, Tales Told in the Dark. Hello, Lily Rose. Hello, Evan. Hello, Lee. Hello, Katie. Oh, you got that right, Judy. It sure is hopeless. Brett will never behave. Yeah, I can go over the cat named Reverend Joe. Well, as everyone probably knows, I'm going to try to do this in order of age, oldest to youngest. Got Batman, Oreo, Daisy, Superman, and Dixie are the same age. They're brother and sister. Um, see, then we've got Dino and Fluffy are the same age. Again, brother and sister. Then we got Teddy, Domino, Sanford, um, Felix, and then next is Lily, Rose, Dream, and Candy Cane. Those four are all the same age. They're brother and sisters. And then Precious and Sweetie. They're sisters. Yeah, I'm not getting any more chat, so. Okay, I guess just no one chatted. Sometimes it stops on me. Sometimes in my own live, sometimes in other people's live. I just got to exit out of chat and come back. But I did that and nothing more popped up. So I guess I'm at the bottom. Well, tomorrow I go see the orthopedic about my hip. So I'll be getting up very early in the morning. My appointment is 8:50. I have to be there by 8:35. And it is a very long walk through the building to get to his office. I was talking to them on Friday. Asked her how far it was. Because I was just wondering if I'd be okay with my cane or if I should bring my rollator. And she said, if you're dependent on a cane, it's going to be a very long walk. So I'm going to take my rollator. I just got a new one. Because the new one I got before Christmas, it was a cheap one. And it fell apart on me. I think if I get the right tools, I can drill it and put some bolts in it. But as it stands right now, that is useless. And then my original one, I need to do some work on that. So I just bought a new one last week, and I made sure that this was a little bit better one. It bolts together in the places where the other one just pushes together, and that's where it fell apart. So I'll be taking that with me. Yes, Judy. I sure am. Yeah, I love every one of these kitties. So go and see what he's got to say. I've been doing some research online about hip replacements. And I guess most of them are done outpatient now. There's some that you spend one night in the hospital. A lot of it depends on your overall health and how comfortable the doctor is with sending you home. So I'll ask him about that tomorrow. And I'm sure he'll probably just tell me anyways. And also, I'm not going to need anyone with me 24/7. I mean, the people that live alone are able to go home the same day all the time. From what I was reading, the most important thing, and there's already plans in the works for that. Most important thing is a little prep work. Maybe reorganize some stuff in the house to make it a little easier to get around. Try to have some of your routine stuff done ahead of time. Like they say, do laundry the day before surgery, so then you don't have to worry about laundry for a week or so. Have meals prepped and in the freezer so you can just warm them up quick. and we're gonna have the big house ready before I have my surgery. So I'll be able to go over there, have more room. In fact, there was supposed to be someone coming to look things over on Friday, I think. Yes, Friday. But ended up not showing up. So now he's supposed to be coming Tuesday. We'll see if he shows up or maybe find someone else to do that. And we talked about moving my bed over and putting it in the living room once the floor in the living room gets done. But I did some reading on that, and I think I'm going to be better off in a recliner. Because there's a lot of rules to sleeping in a bed after a hip replacement. And it just sounds like it's going to be a lot better in a recliner. Yeah, I haven't watched any videos on it, but I've done a lot of reading from different sites. I don't go just to one site and go by that. I read from different sites, but it does look promising. Yeah, I should maybe make a community post and just put all 17 names down in writing. I haven't seen him in here yet, but I know one person that needs some help with that is Eddie. He knows some of my cats, but he gets a lot of them mixed up. He comes up with names that are names of something I don't even have. Hello, Anne. Yes, Katie. I love my rollator. And that's it. Store snacks, anything you got to carry along with you, carry that. And then when you just can't go any farther, there's your chair right there. No, there's not rails for the throne, Katie. But because of the way the throne sits in there, I can't really have rails there. But there is a stand right on the side, and sometimes I do use that for a little extra support. Hello, Kane Corso. Yes, J&B. It might not be completely done, but we're gonna have it done enough so I can be in there. And I have no idea when my surgery is gonna be. But I should know a lot more after tomorrow's visit. I'm sure a date's not going to be set tomorrow, but he can give me some idea of the time frame that we're working with. And actually, I'm hoping it's not real quick. Because I was telling about I'm going to be sleeping in a recliner. Well, I want to sleep in a recliner. What I read said just run it past your doctor. So I'm going to ask him about that and just get any requirements that there would need to be for the recliner. I know one thing I was reading, it can't be one where you've got to use your legs to push down the footrest. It either has to be electric or have a handle on the side. Because to push it down with your legs would be putting too much pressure on the new hip. Oh, the reason I was saying I hope it's not too quick is I want to buy a recliner that's more suitable. This one here is fine right now, but I just don't want to be 100% dependent on this one after surgery. Plus, I'm also looking into a lift chair. Because I think that would make it a lot easier. Because they say one of the big concerns while the hip is healing is how you get up out of a chair, how you get in and out of a car, a lot of stuff like that. You got to be very careful with it. Yes, Carol. I had a comment after Wednesday's live saying the same exact thing. The hip replacement's a lot easier than a knee replacement. Yep, sun pain, Judy. But I actually have learned to manage a lot of that. A lot of it is what I do and how I do it and stuff. Yes, and I believe so. I believe we'll all come together and be successful. I had no idea on the PT after surgery. I would imagine they've got a baseline that they want to start out with, and then it's going to depend on how things progress. I don't think so, Reverend Joe. Eddie wouldn't come that far to drop off any kiddies. What are you, falling asleep, Ark Wild Man? Well, welcome in. Yes, and if there's any physical therapists around here that do make home visits, they say a lot of times they do like to do that for the first couple weeks. Well, Katie, my shower is so small, I'm not going to fall far if I slip. Yeah, the biggest problem with the shower is it's just a mini shower. I am working on, and again, I hope I can get that done before the surgery. I am working on a plan to get a bigger shower. But this shower is so small, you can't put a shower chair in there, which is one thing that is highly recommended. I measured it. You can actually put a shower chair in there, but I can't sit in it. There'd be 8 inches from the edge of the chair to the edge of the shower. So that's definitely out in this shower. And the other thing, it's a very high step up to get in and out of the shower. It's got to be 3 or 4 inches. Well, I'm glad your arthritis is getting a little better, Judy. Hopefully that continues getting better. Yes, Arkwell man. When I went to the doctor last Tuesday, I had her take x-rays of my hip because the main physical therapist thought that my hip was bad, and it's really bad. I didn't really understand all the medical talk other than severe degenerative something causing flattening, sign the medical term. And then there was something else about restricted blood flow. And then when I went to physical therapy the next day, the therapist explained everything to me. He said what happened was blood flow got shut off that hip. And without blood flowing to the hip, it just basically self-destructed. So the upper part of my hip is just flattening right out to nothing. And he said there's absolutely nothing to do other than get it replaced. No, Brett, you're not going to deport everyone that you don't agree with. I'd be the first one to go. Hello, Barbara. Yes, Judy. I'm actually going to go to our local furniture and appliance store this week and just price them, see how much they are. Well, I figure since I got to get one, I might just as well go all the way and get the right one. This one here I'm in right now is still a good one, but it's a basic one, and I've been using this for over a year. It's a used recliner to start with, and recliners don't last forever. So I definitely don't want to all of a sudden, week into recovery, have something happen to it. And where I'm going to be in it most of the time for a while, yeah, I want to make sure it's a good one, and figure might as well go for the lift because that's really going to come in handy. Well, Brett, if you're missing a hand the next time I see you, I know you came up short with the chicken, so they ate your hand. I'm not sure you did see, Katie. I'm not sure what a truckered buddy is, Kane Corso. Yes, Arkwile Man, I should get around better. I was reading, one place I was reading, and as I was saying earlier, I like to read stuff in multiple places, so I can't say for sure this is true because I just read it in one place, that 99% of people have a hip replacement can eventually walk unaided. Some within 3 to 6 weeks, and some of them after several months. So we'll see. Yeah, it should make quite a difference, Anne. No, I don't really want to do that, J&B. I want to get back home as soon as possible to my animals. I'm open to a night in the hospital if I have to. But other than that, I would rather be home. Hello, Des. Well, I didn't expect you at all, Des. Because on Friday night, when you listen off everyone's live, you actually missed both of mine. You missed today's live and Wednesday's live. And it's not a problem, Des. I know you're just trying to remember them all, and you can't remember them all. I'm just picking on you. A folder? What's that, Judy? I don't know what a folder is. Yeah, I know I need to get more organized. Like with the cats, I have all their medical records. They're just not all in one place. But I do want to do that. I tried that years ago and it didn't work out good. But I want to try to keep all paperwork, especially on medical stuff, all organized. Hello, Sam. Yes, Katie. That's what I want to do. Maybe I'll even do it tomorrow, just to see what's out there. Not that I'm buying one right now, anyways. Plus, want to get the living room done, so when they deliver it, it can just be put right in there. But, but I am gonna take a look and see what they have, because it's a very large appliance and furniture store that's right here in Waldron. It's Rice Appliance and Furniture. It's an independently owned store. I know they have at least one other location in Oklahoma. And they only deal with name brand stuff. That's where I got my refrigerator from last winter. Oh, yeah, Reverend Joe, I'm definitely over 200 pounds. I actually get a little surprised when I went to the doctor, because I thought I would really up from last year. I was up about 15 pounds. I'm 310 now. I think I was 295 a year ago, if I remember right. Um, there's probably a rental store in Fort Smith. I know there's not one right close by. But I can check into that if I need to. I might do that, Katie. I don't know if I'll be able to walk unaided, though. Because if I do, that'll be the first time. I know when I went to the doctor when I was still working, and I haven't been able to work since April of 2021, and it wasn't the last visit. when she took me out of work. It was a visit before that. I was using my cane more and more at that time, but wasn't using it 100% of the time. And she told me, make sure I'm using it all the time. Because she said without using it, there was just too great a risk of falling. Because she saw the way I was walking there in the office. So I know since sometime in very early 2021, I have used a cane 100% of the time. And then I was using it occasionally for probably a year before that. Hello, Ed. Oh, I don't really care. As long as the chair gets the job done, I don't care if it is slow. And I've noticed no one's mentioned it yet. Where I was talking about lift chair and electric recline and stuff. I plan on hooking that up to a battery. I know some of them do have a battery backup to them. But I have a large battery that is actually meant to be used with a solar system. And I'll be hooking up to one of those just in case. Oh, okay, Judy. Hello, Ace. Yeah, thanks for that link, Ace. Do they have an age limit on that? Because I know when I was living in New York, someone had my mom and dad check into that. They were both old enough at the time, but you had to be 62 or 65, something like that. So I was just wondering if this one has the same restriction on that. Yeah, that's not actually a bad idea, Judy. I'm just about 6 foot, J and B. Back in my younger years, I was 6 foot 1/2 of an inch. Well, Ed, the bacon part sounds good, but jalapeno poppers aren't my thing. Hello, Troy. Not quite, Reverend Joe, but almost. Yeah, don't want an eject button. Well, I do have a solar panel, Reverend Joe. And like I was saying, I have the battery. Just don't have a charge controller. Unfortunately, I had a really nice charge controller, but I got left behind in New York. Hello, Kay. Hello, Rick. I'm glad you could make it. Yeah, I understand you're not being able to make the Wednesday night lives. Sometimes that's late for me. Hello, Jim Rockford. Well, that doesn't sound good. Oh, I didn't know that, Reverend Joe. Interesting. Oh, okay, Ace. Okay, thanks for the information. Well, here I spent almost 45 minutes talking about myself. Haven't talked about any other animals yet. Well, all the kitties are doing good. Candy Cane, Dream, Lily, and Rose went for their third shots on Wednesday. Yes, Wednesday. Also got the rabies shot. They had ear mites. So she gave me some samples of flea and tick medicine that also works on ear mites and parasites. So it'll take care of everything, and it didn't cost me anything for that. And then on the same day, Superman went for his usual upper respiratory stuff, and he got his shots for that. And she said he was in pretty rough shape, but he's feeling better now. Yeah, as soon as he gets those shots, within a few days, he's better. Oh, okay, Reverend Joe. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yes, Kate. It was nice. When she saw they had ear mites, she cleaned all their ears out, and she said, let me go check. I think we have some free samples. And then she came back, told me what they had, and is it okay if I put this on them? I told her it was, so she put it on them, and that's going to take care of that. And there was no office call for them that day either, because if you have vaccinations done, they waive the office call. Yeah, Judy, free samples are nice. And then on Thursday, Buddy and Honey went for their yearly shots, heartworm test, and rabies shot. And everything looked good with them, except for they both have hookworms. So I got some medicine for that. And I thought maybe Goldie'd come back after I took the other two to the vet, and she missed her vet appointment, but she still hasn't come back. But the vet said if anyone finds her and calls them with the rabies tag number, that they can look it up and let me know. So hopefully someone finds her, because she lost off her ID tag. But she should still have her collar and hopefully her rabies tag. Because the last I knew, she still had her rabies tag on. You don't get free samples in Florida, Des? Yep. It can be expensive, Judy. The 5 cats was $376, and the 2 dogs was $236. I haven't been to a Sam's Club in years. No, I actually was thinking about getting a Sam's Club membership. Had an ad pop up one day. We get a membership for $25. I don't know what the regular price is now. But I know the last one I had was more than $25, and that was, I would say, probably 10 or 12 years ago. Yeah, I had everything done to the dogs while I had them there. Because it's very difficult to get them there. And that's only Buddy's second time going. Honey's third time because she got spayed last year. But they were just as healthy as they could be all year. So neither one had to go because they were sick, and Goldie didn't have to go either. Yeah, my dogs get any heartworm medicine. They just got the heartworm test, and it's negative. Negative last year. And she asked if I wanted the heartworm test done. And then when she told me it was $18, well, yes, I want it done. Definitely for that price. Yeah, it was their combination shot that was expensive. The heartworm test was $18, and and the rabies shot was 18, I believe. And then the other one, I don't know everything that it includes, but that's the expensive shot. Yeah, I used to go to Sam's Club probably once a month, once every 2 months. But years ago, I used to like it. I don't know, it's been so long since I've been there now, I'm not sure. But especially if I get so I can get around a little better, I'll probably try that out again. Yep, it sure does add up, J&B. Yeah, sometimes I'll do a search for coupon codes. Oh, my dogs hate going to the vet. Yeah, I like having everything close by, Brett. Not that it's not a nice drive from your house. But I love being 10 or 15 minutes from everything. But I'm still far enough away from the city that I'm right out in the country. And I'm closer to most things than I was in New York. The last place I lived did have a Dollar General, a little less than 3 miles, Dunkin' Donuts, a couple restaurants, um, 3 convenience stores. But where I lived most of my life, you were probably 20, 25 minutes for most things. Hello, Austin. Hello, Winstone. Well, I'm not doing too bad, Austin. I'm not really sure, J&B. That might have been part of the combo vaccine they gave him. I'm not sure. Yeah, when the dogs were running loose, I didn't really know it's Buddy because he stayed in the yard. But Honey and Goldie were all over the place. And Goldie took off before I got a chance to get her a next guard. But I gave Honey a next guard, and that took care of all the ticks on her, because she was covered in ticks. And I gave one to Buddy too, just as a precaution. And Honey's ears were all bit up and her ears were very painful. If you just touched her ear, she would whine and take off running and go hide. And now she's right back to normal. She comes up for attention and she doesn't care if you touch your ears now. Well, I've got 3 guineas right now. I've got the one adult guinea, and I've got 2 that I hatched out. And then either Thursday or Friday, I'm going to be getting 20 more guinea keats. I got them ordered yesterday. Ordered some eggs over a week ago so I could hatch out some more guinea keats. And she never shipped the eggs out. Never sent me a message saying, I received your order, but there's a delay or anything. So I requested to cancel the order. And I don't know yet if she will accept the cancellation request. Because eBay's changed stuff a little bit from what it used to be. I guess now the seller has to accept the cancellation. But she's only got until about noon on Tuesday to accept that. And then I'm assuming if she doesn't say no, that then they will cancel it and refund my money. Because if I hatch your eggs out, then you've got another month. So I just went ahead and ordered the keats. Thank you, Ace. I appreciate that. But I'm not going to sing a song. But what I might do, I might start doing some Suno songs to play on here. Because I actually have one that's going to be played on Reverend Dream's channel. He's live right now. You might even be playing my song right now. Who knows? But I might start doing that. I like that, Katie. Weather, butt nuggets. And it came up with the weather for nugget. Hey, I'd be okay with every day being Saturday. That'd be fine. That means breakfast buffet every day. Yes, guineas do eat ticks. Because I had ticks bad. March, first part of April. And right around the 1st of April, I started free ranging my chickens. And that's when I let the guineas out to do their free ranging. And I didn't have hardly any ticks at all until just 2 or 3 weeks ago. And now the ticks are horrible. Well, assuming they all survive, I'll have 23 guineas on tick patrol once they get grown up. You mean you hope those eggs didn't ship yet, Kay? They're not marked as being shipped. I didn't get a tracking number. So, I don't think they shipped. Because anyone selling anything of any value at all on eBay has got to put a tracking number on it. Because that's the only way you can prove that they were actually shipped. Otherwise, someone could get something, and if you don't have the tracking number, they can say they never got it, and they can open a dispute. No, you can't, Judy. That fountain is silent. You're hearing either the air conditioner or the air purifier. It hasn't been a hot summer, Brett. It's just been a ordinary summer. Hello, Candace. Yes, good idea to use a tracking number. Hello, Emily. I was wondering where you were. Well, Brett, maybe speech to text it right. Maybe you are Satan. Yeah, I was hoping Joanne would be here. She was watching some of my shorts yesterday, I think it was, and commented on them. No, the ticker is part of any level of StreamYard. It doesn't have to be the upgraded version. What you're seeing right now that's only available with the upgraded version is the chat on the side of the screen, my logo in the upper right corner, and I know you can't really see it, but this is in 1080 instead of 720. With the free version, 720 is the best resolution you can get. But I was happy with the upgrade, especially with the deal I got on it. Okay, Ace. And so you can't see the chat. I know sometimes I have trouble seeing the chat too. Hello, Charlene. Hello, Jonesy. Hey, Batman. Emily's cooking dinner for all of us. So we're going to have to charter a bus, go around, pick everyone up, and we're going to head to New York. And Emily will have dinner ready by the time we get there. Hope you got room for a bus in your driveway, Emily, because we're on our way. There is Joanne. Okay. I see you're watching some of my shorts. I appreciate that. Yeah, I gotta start doing some more shorts, especially of the cats. They are popular. Speaking of ticks, there's one going across my arm right now. I hate those darn things. And when I ordered the guinea keats, I also ordered another Buff Orpington pullet and Black Astrolorp pullet to replace the ones that died from my last shipment. And then I didn't get a Barred Rock cockerel because I still had Mr. Rock at that time. Well, now that Mr. Rock is gone, I ordered another Barred Rock cockerel because since I started having chickens, this is the first time I've ever been without a Barred Rock rooster. So my roosters are going to be a Barred Rock, a Buff Orpington, and a Black Astrolorp. And I've had to make a mistake with the Easter eggers several times. It's the only breed I've ever made a mistake with. So I might have an Easter egger rooster before it's all over with. And I also ordered 8 Ideal 236 pullets. They're a special breed that Ideal Poultry invented in the 1960s. They're similar to white leghorns, but they made them resistant to Marek's disease. And they're very good layers of extra large white eggs. So I got 8 of them. So I have some white eggs when they start laying also. But I won't have any eggs until next spring. I have no idea, Emily. I go see the doctor tomorrow morning, and I should know more after that. I'm hoping it's not going to be for a little while. Because I need to get some prep work done and buy some stuff. Oh, definitely does. I would like to say I'll put a video out on it, but you know the way I've been getting videos out lately. But I'll definitely be talking about it Wednesday night. So if anyone can stay up at least for the first half hour of my live on Wednesday, then I'll give the update on my hip. Okay, Candace. Thank you. I appreciate it. Nope, I didn't see your x-rays, Emily. Well, I'm hoping to be able to have a conversation with him, Ace. But I've got a lot of questions. I'm hoping he can tell me the basics without me asking everything. Because it's only a 10-minute appointment. And I've got probably 20 minutes worth of questions for him. Okay, Emily. Hello, Big Matt. And for any of you that have never met Big Matt, there is a reason he's called Big Matt. With me being 6 foot, I look up to him. Yes, Emily, he is a big guy. Yes, Des. He definitely does. He's one of these that he could snap anyone he wanted to, snap right in two, but he never would. Well, you're big, short people that are only 6 foot, Big Matt. Hello, Eunice. Nope. I, I thought maybe she was coming around, but I haven't seen her. And the reason I say I thought maybe she was coming around is my bicycle trailer, which I obviously don't use anymore because I haven't been able to ride a bike in a year and a half. But anyways, she was laying under my bicycle trailer. And that was sitting there with the tongue down on the ground. One morning, it was tipped back. So something heavy, and it's got some stuff in it, so it's not empty. It takes some weight in order to tip that up. Well, the back end was right down to the ground. It was tipped up in the air. So I was wondering, I wonder if maybe Goldie came last night and was trying to climb up on that. Because the only animal, unless it was her that came back, the only other animal that should be around is the guinea. And there's no way the guinea tipped that back. But I don't know. That's the only sign I've seen. But I have gone outside after dark. I've called her. Or the neighbor about, probably 1,000 feet down the road. My second closest neighbor down that way. Got some dogs that are fenced in. One day his dogs were going crazy. And that's when Goldie and Honey were both missing. I called them. And just about the time it would take them to get here from down there, they came. Today, his dogs started in, same way they did that day. So I called her several times. She never came. So I have no idea. I don't know if she's out in the woods, if she went and moved in with someone down the road. I have no idea. But the vet did tell me, because I said she lost her ID tag. But the last I knew, she saw the rabies tag. And she said if anyone finds her and calls in that rabies tag number, that they can look it up and trace it to me. And I think anyone would be able to get up to her. Very friendly dog. Maybe not immediately, but it wouldn't take much and you could get up to her. Hello, Midnight Madness. Okay, Kay. I hope I can make you live tomorrow night. Okay, have a good night, JMB. Well, what else do we have to talk about? The chicks that I have in the house now are going to be going outside. We got that set up for them today. They would be outside right now, but I need to take a break and take a nap for the live and stuff. But they'll be going out tomorrow. Well, Black Sheep Project lives quite a ways from me. I don't think she made it that far. Okay, have a good night, Rick. Yeah, after I get done with the live, I gotta go to the other house and feed the 4 kittens that are over there, and the chicks and the 2 guinea keats. Yeah, I'm not sure how far it is as the crow flies to get to their house, but by the road, it's an hour. And I've been keeping a lookout when I go down the road, especially places where they have dogs, to see if she's hanging out with the neighbor's dogs. But I haven't seen any sign of her. You don't, Midnight Madness. The only way, if it's really a problem, like if he's stealing so much food that the other cat isn't getting enough to eat, you would have to feed him separately. But other than that, other than feed him separately, I don't know of anything you can do. You can tell him to play nice, but it probably won't work. Have a good night, Reverend Joe. Um, yeah, fortunately, I don't have a big problem with him stealing food. The, the 4 kittens in the other house, they kind of push the other ones away. Or a couple of them do, but they all get equal amounts of food. It's just a couple of them want to eat first, but then they'll leave and let the other ones eat. Hello, Wanda. Well, I would imagine what's going on there at Midnight Madness. Is it the one that's stealing the food? Is that the one that's throwing up? If it is, probably what's going on is he doesn't need to steal food. He's just hogging it down just so the other one doesn't get it. and he's eating it so fast that he can't digest it, and it just comes back up. I figured you were busy, Wanda. Oh, that'll be good if she can do a pop-up tonight, Ace. That must mean she's feeling a little better. And hopefully she just keeps it short. Well, by short, I mean not more than a couple hours. We don't want her tiring herself out and getting sick again. Okay, the one that's getting stolen from. It could be the same thing. He could just be eating so fast to try to get it before his brother steals it from him. That's the only thing I can figure out. Yeah, Brett, your brain goes dead when you see the old man King Homestead, doesn't it? I gotta see what this blue dot is for. Oh, that's nice. I saw there was a blue dot on the sentence thing on here. So I clicked to find out why there's a blue dot. And it lists new members and super chats and stuff. Never saw that before. Nothing else, just list those so you can actually find them on here. And it didn't pop up before, but Austin Garrett is a new member. I know he's been a member. So apparently his membership got canceled for whatever reason. He gets renewed. Thank you, Austin, if you're still here. There, at least now I know what that's for. Well, I'm going to have to take a very short break here. I'll be back in just a couple minutes, everyone, okay? got 13 people here. So I'd like to see at least 13 people when I come back, because I won't be gone long. It'll just be a couple minutes. Okay, who was guarding the door? Five people snuck out. Well, Butt Nugget should be in timeout. Hello, Sassy777. Yeah, if anyone has any testaments to give on hip replacements, go ahead and let me know. Judy! I told you not to tell anyone. Darn you. You got a big mouth. Can't tell you anything. Oh, I know what. And now we're back up 13 people. I know what I didn't mention. I got my tires put on the other day. They checked it over and said everything's good on it. He said there was two possibilities on those old tires. He said it might be out of alignment, but it's not all that bad. And the other thing, which I never thought of, is he said with having those same tires on when it was aligned, if it was already starting to wear uneven from before, you might not have noticed it. And then when the tires got wore down almost to the end, then it was more noticeable. I had not thought about that, but that is a good possibility. So it looks like I got lucky there. So it was just $40 to get them mounted and balanced. And I got the tires for $47.82. Of course, tax added on to both of those amounts. So I didn't figure that was bad. So for less than $100, I got two, probably at least 3/4 new tires. They're used tires, but they're barely used. Yeah, fortunately, looks like it's just the one hip for me, Emily. I didn't even know the x-rayed my left hip. But I did see something in the notes in the x-rays about that. It said there's good spacing. There was one, I forgot what they called it now. There was one little thing on there that they noted, but it doesn't sound like it's a problem. But the right one is really, really, really bad. Yeah, I've got screws in my back and screws in my arm. I know you can walk pretty good, Emily, so I'm hoping I'll be able to. Yeah, I found those tires on eBay. And it was a company. It wasn't an individual. It was a company that sells them. No, I haven't seen anything from Bobblehead in a long time. Welcome back, Rick. You know, Midnight Madness, I've got to stop in to our local coffee shop. They have some great flavored coffee, lattes and stuff. Especially in the fall and Christmas. Well, they do year round. But it just seems like fall, Christmas time, they have some really good ones. Yep. Drew and Lindsay are good people too. I've been hoping he'd be over there. He comes and goes very quickly. I was hoping he'd be over there working on his shop by now. I could stop over and hang out with him for the afternoon. Um, the recalls I'm not sure about on those tires, but the date was, if I'm not mistaken, date was 2022. Yeah, they have the tires listed as 7.5 30 seconds. And I believe a brand new passenger tire is 9 30 seconds. Yeah, these shouldn't dry rot anytime soon. Because I've had tires probably getting up towards 10 years old before with no problems with them. Oh, I have to go back and check that out, Midnight Madness. I missed that. Yeah, at some point I'm going to put a mini split in this house. But the main thing's going to be get the big house ready to move in there, get my hip taken care of, and then it'll be long recovery period with my hip. Then after that gets done, then I can start working in here. From what I'm understanding, from what I'm reading, and I'm sure Emily can tell me if this is true or not, that almost immediately after surgery, you start feeling better, less pain and stuff, and then you can start walking better shortly after that. But then it takes months to fully heal, for everything to grow around the new hip and stuff so it's secure, and then you can start doing more stuff. Yep, everyone's different. That's for sure. Oh yeah, I'm familiar with surgery pain. When I had the gastric bypass surgery, I was in terrible pain for probably, well, the first 2 or 3 days was the worst. Then it started subsiding some, but I was in quite a bit of pain for probably week to 10 days. Oh yeah, definitely. I know I have to go to PT because I'm going to have to learn how to walk. That was one thing I was reading, is that it's actually it's harder to mentally train yourself how to walk again than it is to physically get to the point where you can walk again. Because you have to relearn how to walk. Nope, I've never been to Wawa. I've heard of it, but I've never been there. Yep, my dad had to do that, Emily. And that was many, many years ago. He had his first hip replacement in 1998. And then they did the other side, I think it was the following year. Well, 6 months later, I guess it was. So, yeah, it was the following year. Your sweetie, she came to visit. And they asked him how many steps there was to get in the house and stuff. And he had to be able to do that. I might not have any steps by the time this comes along. Right now, it's 8-inch step from the ground to the bottom of the door, to the door sill. But that's way too high for me. So the landlord put some little cement blocks that are about 1.5 inches thick. Put 2 layers of them there. So it's up 3 inches, then up 5 inches. That's made it much better. But I may put a ramp in so it'll just be flat going in. And maybe not, since I'll be able to walk better. But one thing I do want to do, because those blocks slip around a little bit, I want to get a thicker block, like a 4-inch block that will be about 3.5 inches high, and put that in there. Maybe that's what I'll stick with. I know, but that is scary. When I had surgery on my back, they didn't tell me all the details until after the surgery. They just told me that I needed immediate surgery. But what it was, they kept checking, sticking needles in my toes and all that good stuff all night. And getting towards morning, because the swelling was getting worse, I wasn't able to feel their needles. And they told me afterwards, and I didn't know that at the time. But every time they did it, I would perform a little worse on it. And then they told me afterwards, in fact, I think it was a surgeon, told me a couple days later, once I was off the morphine and everything, I was on morphine for about a day and a half, I think it was. When it got to the point that he actually could have a conversation with me, he told me all the details, said there were bone fragments pressed against my spinal cord, and if he hadn't done surgery right then, they would have cut my spinal cord. Yep, I've had 3 surgeries, Emily. My back, my arm, and my stomach. Yes, Emily, she is getting big. And Precious, oh, here's Precious over there. She's playing with Fluffy right now. She's a little bit bigger. I did weigh Precious yesterday. She's just slightly over 2 pounds. Yeah, I think the best coffee that I've had at a convenience store was Stewart's. There were quite a few Stewart's around the area where I lived in New York. I don't know how widespread they are. I don't know how many of you have ever been to a Stewart's. But they had really good coffee. They had all different kinds of flavored creamers you could put in it, flavor shots, and they had their flavored coffee they had all the time. They had the regular French vanilla, hazelnut. Can't remember if they had any other ones all the time. And then they'd have a flavor of the month. There was one, it was, I think it was chocolate raspberry. That was a good coffee. And I figured it out because I was working for a taxi company that did medical transports, non-emergency medical transports. So I was around where all the Stewart's were every day. And there was one store that if they had me in that city just waiting for the next pickup, I'd go to Stewart's every time. And I got it figured out what flavor shot to put in that chocolate raspberry coffee, what creamer to use. Boy, that was good. I was so sad when the first of the month came along, they went to a different flavor. Give me Precious. Give me Precious. Here's Precious. As you can see, she's a little bit bigger than Sweetie. She doesn't want to be here. You go back, you play with Fluffy. Oh, Precious is very, very independent. She sleeps over on the cat tree at night, right up on the top perch. Wake up in the morning, checking on all the cats. Because I want to make sure I see everyone. And if you got a cat hiding, that could mean that they're sick. So I always want to check all of them. And I won't see Precious anywhere. Now I got it figured out. And then all of a sudden, here she comes from over by the cat tree. Now I got to figure out she's right up on the top perch. Okay, you have a good night, Des. Hello, Susan. Yeah, I don't think there's any place local where they have physical therapy in a pool around here. No, Wanda. I haven't talked to the doctor yet. I'm going to see him tomorrow. And I'm either going to put a video out updating on that, or I'll update everyone on my Wednesday live. And I'll do it within the first half hour. So if anyone wants an update on what's going on with my hip. Just plan on being to my Wednesday night live, 10 o'clock Central, for the first half hour. Yep, I'm screwed too, Emily. I've got 4 screws in my back and 6 screws in my arm. Well, I've been in PT for most of my adult life, so I'm used to that. Yep, 4 screws in my back. Then I had to put 2 plates in there on each side of my spine. Well, 1 on each side of my spine, so 2 plates. And screwed them together. Now, I can't remember exactly what's going on my arm, how they did that. Well, I think the surgeon I had for my back did a better job on that than the one did on my arm. Of course, part of that reason was insurance. So my back was through workers' comp, so I went to the best hospital for that. Then my arm, that was through my private insurance, so I had to go to the hospital where the insurance company told me to go. Which actually, overall, I like that hospital better, but the orthopedics aren't as good there. Hey, sweetie, wanna come back over? Time to reposition. Now we're back up, like 22, 23 people in here. We're down to 8 at one time. Looks like 45 thumbs up. Thank you, everyone. Well, I've been on here for 2 hours and 15 minutes. So I think it might be about time to call it a night. I gotta go over to the other house, feed the kittens, and feed and water the chicks, and the guinea keats. And then I gotta grab something to eat some point too. And I gotta go to bed early. Because I've gotta, in order to get there in time in the morning, get to where I need to go in the building, and be in the doctor's office at 8:35, I'm gonna have to leave here by 7 o'clock in the morning. Hello, Gandalf. So I'm not sure if I'll be in any other lives tonight. Maybe after I get everything done and settle down for the night, I might have a live playing until I fall asleep. But I better get going. Oh, okay, Wanda. Thanks for letting me know, because I was just going to tell everyone that you'll be going live shortly. Yeah, definitely, Emily. Well, thanks for being here, everyone. I appreciate it. If I didn't have to get up so early in the morning, because get up, get ready, get breakfast and stuff, I'm going to have to be up by 5:30. But I appreciate it, and I'll keep everyone updated, either video or Wednesday nights live. But I definitely will keep everyone updated. Okay, thank you, everyone. Have a good night.